Today we're going to get started learning how to shade with Crayola Colored Pencils. Once you've mastered how to shade, blending is going to feel like a piece of cake. I'm starting with a brand new 50 pack of colored pencils, and whenever I start with new supplies, my first step is to organize them so everything is really easy to find when I need it. This case holds 150 pencils, so it's perfect to hide a 100 pack underneath for when I do want to blend. And my 50 pack fits perfectly right on top. So I'm going to go ahead and start organizing. Shading is all about your control of pressure. When you apply a lot of pressure on your pencil and press really hard, you get a really dark mark. When you apply less pressure on your colored pencil, it allows the white paper to show through your pencil marks and makes the color appear lighter. Once you've experimented applying different pressures to get different values, try a value scale. Start by pressing as heavy as you can, and as you move away from your dark value, start easing up on that pencil slowly and get lighter and lighter and lighter with your pressure, therefore getting lighter and lighter and lighter with your color because you're allowing more and more white to show through your pencil marks. Now the dark to light I just achieved is pretty good, but part of the challenge of this particular value scale is that it's much longer. So I want to go back and overlap what I just did, taking more time to press a little bit heavier so that I can practice extending my shading as far as I can. I find that coloring in ellipses or ovals helps achieve a really smooth pencil mark. This is really important for shading because the whole point of shading is to make something look like it has a natural shadow. And natural shadows are really soft, so we want to aim for a really smooth transition. To make my value scale look even smoother, I'm going to start again at my darkest and overlap or color over the same spot again with the same pressure in a different direction. I'm still coloring in those ovals or ellipses, I'm just matching the pressure underneath to make the pencil mark less streaky. I'll continue to color over the same spots in a different direction, again matching the pressure underneath until I'm happy with my results. If coloring the opposite direction doesn't do the trick, I'll color diagonally and every other way on top of it until it looks as smooth as possible. Make sure you're always working with a sharp colored pencil so that you have as much control as possible. It seems counterintuitive in that a wider point would give you a softer line, but the sharper your pencil, the easier it is to shade. Once you're confident in your control of pressure to shade a value scale, you can move on to trying to shade an object. Remember to always start with a nice sharp pencil. For my color wheel, I'm going to be shading dark on the outside to light on the inside. Pick a spot on the edge of your object and color as heavy as possible, and then get lighter and lighter towards the center just like you did your value scale. Once you've hit the center with the lightest value possible, you're going to move to the spot right next to it, overlapping the part you just did and matching the pressure, again getting lighter and lighter to the center. Continue creating these little value scales all around the edge of your object, and what's going to happen is you're going to start to see the center look like it's raised up a little bit. You don't have to worry as much about going over the same spot in different directions because that's going to happen as you shade around your object without you even trying. I spoke a little bit about shadows before. What happens to objects is when they have any shape to them or form, you see the raised parts having light to them and then the lower parts having shadows. That's how our eye recognizes them as three-dimensional. I'm shading a color wheel which has no form to it at all. So my shading is just adding a little bit of interest and making it look really nice. In the future, you'll be looking at real objects and trying to match the shadows and highlights the way you really see them in person. For now, shading things dark on the outside and light on the inside is a really good way for you to master controlling your pencil pressure and getting a really soft shadow and smooth transition. Remember to keep coloring in those ellipses to make sure those pencil streaks are kept to a minimum, and keep overlapping the same spot until it looks super smooth. Now I'm completely done with my shading, and I could leave it just like this. Or, if I want this to have a more complete look and a smoother feel, I can actually take a white colored pencil and color right over it. Seriously, you're not going to believe how easy this is. Simply apply full pressure over the entire object with the white colored pencil. Be sure to color in ellipses, because if you make this part streaky, it will make your entire object streaky. Where you've colored really dark, you didn't leave any room for that white colored pencil to do anything. But where you got lighter and lighter, that colored pencil is able to fill in the spaces and make your colored pencil look more like oil pastel or paint or something that's really smooth. This is the kind of result you would expect from a really expensive colored pencil, and we're getting out of Crayola, which is really exciting. Now, I'm just going to speed up the rest of the shading on this color wheel. I think you get the idea, but now that you've seen it in real time, you can probably look at the high speed and see the ellipses, the overlapping, coloring in different directions to make it look smooth, and I think that you can really get a good idea of how to do this all on your own. If you do decide to use the white colored pencil to fill in for a solid look, be sure you clean it off with either your thumb or color on a scrap paper to prevent your colors from mixing. My next step is to shade the tertiary colors. They're the colors in the circles in between each primary and secondary color. I'm going to start with blue-green, which Crayola has listed as green-blue. What I love about shading circles is that a three-dimensional form of a circle is a very recognizable shape. So, as you color dark on the edge to light on the inside, that circle is magically going to appear into a sphere before your very eyes. Remember to clean off that white colored pencil before you use it. Then apply full pressure over the entire shape. When you're looking up close, you can really see that where I do have dark, it's not doing much. But in the case that it does make the edge a little too light, I can always take my original color and go over the edge and shade just a little bit more to make it dark again. If you ever find that there's a color that Crayola doesn't make, you can always mix two together. In this case, I needed blue-violet, which is not in my 50 pack. I'm going to take one color and color medium to light, and then the other color and color medium to light right on top of it. I'll keep layering these colors until it looks like the color that I want and the edges are nice and dark. The white colored pencil will just further enhance the two colors mixing together.